We're now 100 days away from election 2012, and we have much ahead of us. Because this is one of the closest elections we've seen in a long time, what's coming up in August, September, and October could very well decide the outcome of this election. Let's look at what's ahead. The first thing, when Governor Romney gets back from his foreign trip, will be his selection of a vice presidential running mate. Now, vice presidents usually don't change the shape of an election in the end, but for a time they have the ability to spark and give a lot of energy to the campaign. After that come the two conventions. Conventions are a little bit anachronistic at this point because there's not much drama left in them, but for Governor Romney it's obviously an opportunity for him to present himself in a much more positive light and to fill in some of the biographical blanks that still exist in his resume.
And so I'm here to ask you today to stand with me shoulder and shoulder as we go forward to fight for America.
For the president, because his convention goes second, it will be an opportunity to rebut what happens at the Republican convention, and I suspect to try to give a more positive and fuller accounting of what he thinks he has been able to accomplish.
When the auto industry was on the brink of collapse, my opponent said, let's let Detroit go bankrupt. I said, let's bet on American workers and American ingenuity. And you know what? GM is #1 again. Chrysler's selling cars again. Ford is on the move. The U.S. auto industry has come roaring back.
In October, we will have 3 presidential and 1 vice presidential debates. Many people think that debates in the end don't matter a lot, and yet we've seen certain cases where they have. In 1980, for example, Ronald Reagan used his debate against Jimmy Carter late in the campaign to break open what was a close election. These debates are likely to be very critical for both candidates. This campaign in the end will be the costliest we have ever seen. We will see more negative advertising than we've ever seen. And yet, in the end, this race will be decided on a couple of things. One, the economy, the biggest vulnerability for President Obama. Second, the character and personalities of these two candidates. How these two people are judged by the voters as they watch them in the final stretch ultimately will decide the outcome of this election.